And the Oscar goes to.
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 Spread out. And the Oscar goes to.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I'm Theo.
I'm Petra.
And today we're back after like a certain amount of months. I don't know, I lost track. We're back to discuss our Oscar predictions.
As is tradition.
Yes, as we do every year, and for the past 2 years we've been recording it, and you can go back on our channel and see how much fun we had with it last year. And as we said in that recording, we basically do it every year since we've known each other.
Yeah, and we have better years than this, but
Oh yeah, this year, oh my fucking god, I would like to retract our statements from last year, like 5 minutes into our previous video about in any other movie.
I think that's one of the worst years in Oscar history that I've seen, and I'm watching since 2010, and I think
2 years ago was the worst Oscar run we've ever seen in the past 10 years. We take that back. I take it back. Petra needs to take it back too, because this year, oh my god, what are these nominations?
it's so bad, but at least I kind of don't have like stake. Like, I don't care about anyone specifically that much, so I'm not gonna be completely mad if some specific movie is gonna lose.
Yeah, like Petra is her frontal lobe developed previous to mine. Clearly, I feel like mine has flourished and developed last year, and I don't have the emotional stakes either that I usually have. And we're both very rational. I don't know why we feel this way. Somewhere along the way last year we just accepted that Dune, although for me clearly the best film out of last year, it kind of became clear to us that it's gonna be snubbed as hell.
It's the curse of the sequel, unless you are like The Godfather, I would say, which did better than the first movie. But also we can talk about how it's like every year, 2 years that we had Dune competing, it's one of the worst years for the awards. Like, I couldn't care less for some of the contenders. Like, I don't want to say bored, because I'm kind of entertained by the drama of it all, but also I'm like, if Nosferatu is not gonna win anything, I'm gonna be fine, I guess.
Yeah, we're not emotionally invested in anything this year, which is also kind of uncanny for us, because we usually have at least one movie that we're like really passionate about. But we'll see. That doesn't mean we're gonna have a less passionate discussion. I believe there's some passion in some of these.
I mean, we are not gonna be that positive about stuff. I mean, there are some movies that we just hate.
Oh yeah, I
So
mean everyone hates it. I'm gonna say it because it's like the cursed child. She who shall not be named, Emilia freaking Perez. I do not, for the love of God, I don't understand how it has so many nominations. Record breaking almost? Like, what do you fucking mean? I'm like, yes, here's the passion.
I mean, even if you would be like, okay, I get why they nominated, I still don't get why it has 13 nominations.
Of course we understand, we're not dumb. It's the performative allyship of it all. Of course we're gonna nominate
by European director and all of that. I still don't get like certain nominations. I just simply don't get it. Just overperformed. Also with some other movies, I don't think like
100%.
Yeah.
There's no reason. We're gonna eventually in some of the categories like sound, I'm sorry, the winner, we're gonna just get it out of the way right now. The winner is Challengers. It's not even nominated. Where is it? Nowhere.
Yeah.
And it should have been nominated, and it should have won.
So many snubs in so many categories.
So just like last year, we're gonna get some categories out of the way, and we're gonna just announce our predictions
And picks.
yeah, so we have a different system this year. We're just, instead of like first and second pick and wild cards, we're just gonna have like our picks. That means our personal, it's not even favorites because we've discussed
what
we
would
don't
we
have
prefer, yeah.
what we would prefer exactly from these categories. And the second is the prediction, which is what we think the Academy will vote for. Let's get the short categories out of the way. For best live action, I have Anuja. I think in my opinion, it has the most compelling story out of all of these.
No, I have for both like my personal pick, and for the win, I actually have The Man Who Wouldn't Remain Silent, about Yugoslavia in the 90s. And it won a couple of awards. I think they might be like going that way.
Worth mentioning, the rest of the awards are messy as hell as well. I don't know how safe it is to us to try to predict wins based on these.
And also I'm
wins.
like how they are gonna feel, because there was the LA fires, right? So are they gonna vote for something that's more optimistic, or they are just not feeling that well? They are just gonna go something that reflects their feelings more.
Moving on to animated shorts.
I had some stronger opinions like the last 2 years. This year I'm like, yeah, this is cute, this is fine, I like the concept, but I'm like not feeling strong. I don't have strong emotions to.
I think historically we've kind of seen more tragic stories make their way into animated shorts.
Yeah.
But this year, like 3 out of 5 are very light stories, very humorous. Like Magic Candies is about this kid, if you ask me, experimenting with drugs. but God knows. Yak is my pick. I love it. Like it's such a light-hearted story about like, and it's so innocent as well. It's about like kids and how we perceive like our first kisses and the idea of kissing each other. And I think all of us, if we like think back to our childhood, how grossed out we were about the idea of kissing back then. And then finally you have your first kisses and they're so like goofy and embarrassing and yucky, basically.
It reminds me of My Year of Dicks. There's like kind of like teenage, early adolescence, experience.
Yeah. And that was my pick last year as well. But honest prediction, probably the Academy will like Wonder to Wonder,
which is both my pick and my prediction. And I also prefer something more adult oriented in animation, because I know it's not gonna win in the animated feature, so I would like to see something like that awarded in animated short.
Again, my love for stop motion animation is never ending, because I just feel like we should celebrate the effort and the craftsmanship. I'm kind of having a more visceral reaction to this than Pachyderm last year. And that story is like heavy as hell.
Oh,
and
you were traumatized
I was
by it.
traumatized. But this, it's kind of making me feel weirder than Pachyderm did. And I just feel like it's creepy and sad. Like,
and edited well. There was
edited
some
well,
craftsmanship
yeah.
done in the movie, but yeah.
Okay, moving on.
It's gonna go to Beautiful Man just because of the topic.
Yeah, but forgot to mention this Beautiful Man is about 3 brothers traveling to Turkey for hair transplants.
If it's gonna be so funny, because I would love to hear like their winning speech, just to see what they have to say.
Is Beautiful Man a real pain, but without the Holocaust traumatism?
Yeah, and Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin have hair still in the movie, so yeah.
Beautiful. Doc Short.
Oh, this is like, yeah, I usually am so excited about just documentaries in general, because I like, even if I don't know them by the time they are nominated, I'm like always excited to check it out. This year I'm just like, 3 of them are very US centered with their topics, and the other 2 are music related in a way, and I'm just like, I'm not.
2 of them are about gun violence or gun incidents. I Am Ready Warden is about a death row inmate. Instruments of a Beating Heart, I it's giving the last repair shop from last year. Like it's, but honestly, my pick and what I think the Academy, my pick and my prediction is The Only Girl in the Orchestra.
That's my what I think is gonna win. I would go with the Instruments of Beating Heart for my pick. This is like the only category I'm gonna go with something more sweet and light-hearted compared to the other three
I mean,
nominations.
The
but
Only Girl in the Orchestra is also like, it can be viewed as very political.
yeah,
And
it's
I
also
mean, just like the others, honestly, just like the other documentaries.
But this one is on. This is the only kind of like biopic-ish, right? So I'm thinking like, yeah, they will go with it because maybe for like the certain voters, it's gonna be easier to get attached to this or remember this because it's about the real person, artist from the 60s, I think, right? So yeah, I feel like they're gonna go with that. But yeah, I don't have strong opinion about any of those this year.
I mean, our strong opinions are gonna come later. It's
Yeah.
fine. Emilia Perez isn't nominated in any of these categories.
Alright, we can move to the tech categories, I would
Yes,
say.
let's go with our technical categories because we're done with shorts. We're just gonna go from bottom up. Once again, we are using shout out to the Gold Knight, the like website, their social media accounts. Every year we download their Oscars ballot, we print it out, and that's what we use to like have our predictions on and what we follow through the night while we watch the Oscars and drink.
Our constant companion during the
Yeah.
award season, so we are very, very thankful.
Basically, where would we be without all of this? So we're just gonna go bottom up if you have that as a reference. I'm just gonna put it on screen probably as well. So best visual effects.
That's like easy Dune. I don't think there's like much to discuss.
Now if I go with my heart, it's Dune for me as well.
It's also like winning. Like I don't think there's like only award is gonna win. I don't.
Listen,
Alien won't win. Better Man, I would kind of love that. But
oh
the-
yeah, we need to talk about Better Man because I feel like it was snubbed in, I don't know in what categories I would argue for, but it's a biopic, and I know I've been using the words biopic fatigue to describe my feelings last year as well, and these last fucking, I don't know, past 5 years I think, all these biopics have been coming out, and well, obviously last year I didn't have a problem with it because Oppenheimer was
It's something
awesome.
different to that, but it's not music biopic. That's a difference.
Yeah, but obviously we've been tired. This year we have Better Man and A Complete Unknown. The thing is, as much recognition as Timothée Chalamet, because I love him, we love him, is getting, and the movie is getting, it's still just a basic biopic. Better Man? Dude, there's a chimp, because I think people like to make that difference. It's
Yeah.
not a monkey, people. It's a chimp. I think they've done they have such an interesting take on the artist and Robbie Williams.
And it actually looks interesting. I like how it's actually filmed because it looks good. Just give it all the Emilia Perez nominations
Honestly.
instead. Like give it sound, give it like fucking even cinematography at this point. I would be very happy
I am
with that.
so surprised they didn't get any other nomination other than
Like I think everybody's seen that clip that was kind of on Twitter for some time, like that one music sequence from the movie. Just look at that. It's just so well done compared to like Wicked or Emilia Perez, like the other musicals.
And editing, where it goes from him singing to like the funeral.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if it would be cinematography or editing. I don't know in what technical but just for that one shot, for that one transition, it should have been nominated for something.
And there was so
else.
much passion and energy. Yeah.
More passion. More
That was that
energy.
movie, and I'm sorry if people in US don't know who fucking Robbie Williams is. That's on you, but that movie is like so entertaining. Just give it something, but I don't think it's winning the VFX. By the way, we just want to talk about this movie because
yeah.
like at least it made people feel something.
It was worth the 2 minutes we spent on it just now.
Yes.
That being said, Dune, in my heart, Dune, for Petra, apparently it's her prediction as well. My prediction, like, it's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Girl, the first 3 movies have been snubbed.
I know. So I'm thinking, like, it looks at least as good as Dune.
But
And you know how much I love Dune.
I'm just like, I know people are kind of like, there's like Dune fatigue, but I'm like, what about the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? I don't think there's like anyone in the voting body that's gonna be like passionate about it. Like,
And
I know.
honestly, if we talk about the category, all in all, I understand all of the nominations besides Wicked.
But who are you gonna nominate instead? Gladiator 2, the visual effects were kind of not good in that movie. I'm gonna put it lightly. I mean, I don't know who else to nominate. I mean, Mad Max. Like that was
Mad Max.
Yeah, I mean, over Wicked, like, just
But-
the Wicked looks so bad visually that, like, I'm just, like, I have a, like, hard time seeing
And
it
it's
here.
hard to pinpoint if it's. I like to blame the color grading. Plus, it's also hard to tell how the editors and the visual effects artists, like, how these people. They have high tech screens. They film on high-tech cameras and all that shit.
I would
like-
blame it on the director. He should be the one, like, it's his vision, right? And
The
I'm
thing
like,
is, I don't know how we see these movies, because obviously if you go to cinema, it looks different. If you see it at home, it looks different. All the different settings on our TVs might influence how we...
yeah, but I don't think Wicked
See a
still
movie.
looks good no matter if you go to cinema or no. I've just...
I mean, it should,
I
ideally, it should look good in
see.
all conditions.
I think the director just failed. Like, of course, the acting is good. I know they put their work into production and costume design.
Yeah,
but like,
once we get into these categories, Wicked makes sense. For visual effects,
it's okay. I mean, I don't know who else I would actually replace it with, so it's fine. But I don't think it's winning. I don't think Apes are winning either. It just, I think this is the only award Dune might actually get.
ooh, okay.
I mean, we'll see.
Moving on to best sound. Now, I have Dune as both my pick and my prediction in here.
Same. Even like for me, if I could like pick, like honestly pick, I would go with the Substance. But Substance wasn't even shortlisted, and I think that's seeing out like how much they love the movie. I think it's a shame. I think it should have been in the sound. It would have been interesting nomination compared to
Of
Wicked
course,
or The Wild Robot or Emilia Perez, of course.
of course, we have the two musicals nominated here. I'm just gonna
And Complete Unknown, because it's kind of like,
I'm
it's
just
music
gonna-
based.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mention something in a complete unknown because I've learned about this while I was doing research for our recording, and it changed my opinion about the best sound nomination because I was like, of course, it's about a guy singing Bob Dylan, not just a guy, but yeah, you know what I mean. So I was like, what is this nomination for? It's just like Emilia Perez and Weeknd being nominated. Well, they used around 40 microphones from like each era. Like as they go with Bob Dylan's Live, they also change mics that Timothée Chalamet was singing into.
It's really hallowed ground because Bob Dylan recorded his first 6 albums here. So we did a forensic recreation and we worked closely with props, set deck, construction, and the sound team. All of the microphones are real period microphones. All the instruments are real period instruments that Bob would have used with sounds just like it would have sounded in the 1960s.
We'll have wireless microphones, hidden microphones, boom microphones, vintage microphones.
And all that, so I think that is impressive. There is some craftsmanship. It's highly technical to use this old technology in your movie just so you have a more authentic final product. So I feel like it's a well-deserved sound nomination.
I mean, if we are gonna have surprise, it might be Complete Unknown. I just don't think that it's like highly likely. I
Yeah.
would go with Dune.
Of course, that being said, I feel like Dune does a lot more with sound because like there's the sound of the sandworm again. There's the sound of all the spaceships, explosions. Fucking, if we're talking sound and snub for Dune, like, well, guess what? Hans Zimmer is nominated in score.
Yeah, because they have their own requirements and bullshit rules. Yeah, they're their own, category.
So maybe they're gonna redeem themselves and like actually have Dune win best sound.
Yeah, but it might be like last year with Oppenheimer and Zone of Interest. Maybe like people will read about, I don't know, like Complete Unknown, and they're gonna be like, oh, this is very interesting. Let's vote for this instead of Dune. Because sound can surprise, especially right now when they just have the sound, not sound editing and sound mixing. But yeah, I'm leaning Dune still. I don't think we have any reason to change it right now.
I will say Wild Robot is a very weird nomination, and I can't remember the last time an animated movie made it into the sound category.
I mean, they usually make it like in a screenplay and song and score, of course. I don't remember the sound. Might have been for like some early Pixar movies,
Maybe
like
Soul or something, but Soul was 2020.
Probably Incredibles, but that's like 20 years by now. So yeah, they
So
apparently
impressive.
care. They care, and it's DreamWorks instead of Pixar or Disney, so that's like good for them. But yeah, I don't think so. It's gonna win anything.
Beautiful. Let's move on to Best Production Design.
Oh god.
Again, it's this year is our discussion is very easy because my pick and my prediction are the same again.
Yes,
I chose Wicked.
And I'm not very happy. I think I would care more about the production design if you can actually like, if the director would do it justice in the movie.
If the color grading was more vibrant, that's my only freaking problem. I felt like this movie was gonna be my maximalist dream. I was gonna look at it and be like, oh my god, this fantasy world and everything, but because...
At least the Barbie world looked so good last year. Say what you say about Barbie, but at least the Barbie world looked amazing. And I was kind of expecting that. And when only reason why I care about production design for The Wicked is because I actually read what the production designer had to say about it and how they made it, and I was like, oh, I would feel so shitty if I were you when I would see the final product and how they film it.
The sets look incredible. The effort is there. It's like maybe the effort is on par with Poor Things last year and Barbie.
Signal, and you've got a camera up here. It's all real. It's all in camera. When I came to this project, my methodology is to try and do as much practically as possible. And the reason I was attracted to this is because it's pure fantasy, and which has traditionally recently been done with CGI. It's very difficult to talk to the studio and a room of producers about going into the farming business. Naturally, they want to do them with CGI, but they really wanted to know if I could guarantee the flowers would succeed, which of course you can't do. But on Interstellar, I grew 500 acres of corn far north in Canada where the weather wasn't necessarily correct for corn growing, but it grew, it worked, so I knew it could be done. And I knew if I found the right farmer like we had on Interstellar, we could make this work. So we, along with the help of a farmer called Mark and our location manager, Adam, we planted 9 million tulips. When I talk about
why does it look so... It muted. Muted is the...
Yeah.
I could have had my maximalist dream and I got muted colors.
It just
In a
looks like
movie-
Marvel movies these days. It's just like, I don't want it. I don't want to see it.
And it's so sad. But that being said, the effort is there. We don't think... Brutalist...
I wonder how... I mean, they did damage control after the whole AI controversy, but
At
it
least
was...
they clarified what they used AI for.
But I wonder, like, how many people actually read about it. Maybe just they only heard the first part when it came out, and they're like, oh, they use AI for the production design. I don't care about it then.
If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, the Brutalist people involved in the production and everything came out and said they used AI, and then they clarified eventually that the AI was used for when the actors are speaking Hungarian?
Yeah,
Or
they...
English with a Hungarian accent?
No,
Something about
just
the accent.
Hungarian, and they use it to fix like their pronunciation on certain letters. So it's like very light touch.
They used AI for the to save money on all those architectural like drawings.
Yes.
In some of the shots, which is also I don't see that as okay. The voice thing is I kind of like,
I mean,
fuck
to be
it.
fair, they could have used like, let's say, different program that's not AI, and it would be like kind of the same. But also, I don't understand why it's only Brutalist Brutalis
Exactly.
that's catching the fire, because Emilia Perez used AI. Dune Part 2 use AI actually. They just use
Exactly.
different programs or whatever to call it.
And what I've seen someone say in an interview who's worked on The Brutalist is like, yeah, people can be mad at us, but we're just like one of the movies that disclosed the use of AI, and no one is required to. So you can be mad all you want,
Yeah.
but the reality of it is we don't know who is using AI and who is
It
not.
might be your favorite movie, and you might be like just pissed at Brutalist, but
I-
like you never know.
I just think, and the Academy as well, as I've seen a couple of days ago a post. They do want to have some. They recognize the need for regulations around the use of AI, like a clear guideline or something, because. Yeah, of course, people were already campaigning like for Brutalist to be disqualified and stuff for using it, and I'm like, okay, let's calm
Calm
our
down,
horses.
yeah.
Let's calm down, because, like Petra said, it might be your favorite movie that has used it in a small way or a big way, God knows. But
Yeah.
we just need, like with all other things AI, we need some regulations.
Yeah, guidelines, and have like more honest conversation about.
Exactly. Now, Nosferatu, also very impressive production design, but it's more recreations of the interiors of castles. Yeah, I just don't think it's as impressive as Wicked. Dune was awesome, but of course.
If they're gonna compare part 1, part 2, like how many more locations they added, and I think there's a fatigue. Conclave is impressive, like the whole recreation of the Vatican City, but I don't. It's like too
And-
contemporary for them to care, I would say.
Yeah, and the way they made interesting stylistic choices, because it is a movie about choosing a new pope, right? And it does take place, of course, in the Vatican. That being said, the architecture displayed is very modern, is very brutalist in a way.
Yeah.
And they steered away from all the classic architecture, and they even have scenes filmed in the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah.
But you don't see all the paintings. That's not the point of the movie.
Yep.
Or the production design. I think they made interesting stylistic choices. That being said, it's not a winner in this category.
And Brutalis, might be number 2, but it's also like how much the AI scandal, I don't want to call it even scandal, is gonna affect it. Just Wicked has so much production.
So much more effort compared to all of these movies.
Yeah.
So it would make sense if it wins. We would be very surprised if anything else takes it. Would we feel a certain way? We've established no.
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 I would be pleasantly surprised by Nosferatu because I love that movie, but I don't necessarily think it deserves the award.
Exactly. Moving on to Best International question mark?
I mean, we can do the
No,
song.
wait. Song. Never mind.
We care so little about the best song category this year. That it's
I don't even have it on my handwritten notes. Oh my god.
I mean, we have 2 Emilia Perez songs. We have Sing Sing song, Elton John song, and triple Diane Warren song, triple.
The 6888, yeah.
And actually, people are always like, "Oh, she wrote the song for a movie that doesn't exist." False. Your grandpa actually saw the movie that she made the song for.
My grandpa is watching every new release. He's been watching also just like very good TV series in general. Like he's watching The Crown now. He's watched so many of the new movies. Like I love him.
Emilia Perez.
No, that's not up his
Your
alley.
grandpa is living everyone's dream, like be old and have time to watch movies and TV shows.
Yeah. So, original song.
My pick is the Sing Sing one, just because I want to see that movie win at least one award.
Okay, no. So my pick, The Journey from the 6888, just because I love the movie and I love the messaging and the song is impressive to me. That being said,
It's gonna be El Mal.
Yeah. The prediction is El Mal.
And I mean, I don't care. They just sound bad. Even like take Emilia Perez hate aside, they're just not that good. It just
Is any of the music in Emilia Perez necessary to the plot, you think?
Is Emilia Perez like necessary?
Necessary at all, please.
Yeah, so that's that, yeah.
All right.
It's just like such an embarrassment to even nominate them.
Oh, the melodies are weird. Like, it feels like even the songs, I don't know if the screenplay, but the songs have such a flow where you're like, is this a first write? No one rewrote this? It feels like Game of Thrones scripts.
Did they use AI to create them? I wouldn't be
Oh my
surprised.
god, Google Translate, not even AI. I would be thankful if Emilia Perez used AI for the songs.
But to be fair, there are like not that many songs I would choose over. This is like very boring year compared to last year when we had like Billie Eilish, I'm Just Can't, Olivia Rodrigo got snubbed, of course, but there was at least something. And this year I'm just like, even if I would take one Emilia Perez song out, I don't know what I would put there instead.
Do we think Elton John has a chance?
I mean, he won like 5 years ago for the biopic movie Rocketman, and everybody says that like that one is way better. I'm like, I listened to this one and I'm like, oh, just sounds like every other Elton John song. So if it's gonna win, it's because of the name recognition.
Fair.
Oh, I know what I would put there. Of course, I would put the Challengers Repress.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I forgot, but like, yeah, snubbed. I don't want to even talk about it.
Do you see, like, if we let ourselves think even a little bit, like, it's so easy to find better things to nominate.
El Mal is winning, and I have Sing Sing song as my pick, just to see it win. It would be nice, because, yeah, snubbed in a couple of categories.
Let's go to original score.
That's like the worst category this year. I was so disappointed.
It's so boring. Like, besides, and it's a score I don't even vibe with that much, but it's the only thing that
stands out.
That stands out. That does anything interesting. I think The Brutalist will win.
That's my pick, and what should win. Like, if it goes to anything else, I'm gonna be. I mean, not mad. I'm just gonna roll my eyes so hard. Like Conclave, I love the composer. I really love the All Quiet score, but it just like kind of feels like Hans Zimmer, Da Vinci Code, and the sequel type of music. Emilia Perez, like, no thank you. Wicked, I don't get it. It's like, it shows that they love the movie, but I don't get it. And also, Wild Robot is just like, as far as DreamWorks score for animated movies go, it's like. It's alright.
So basic.
Yeah. Like,
it sounds like such a generic score, and half of these are.
I mean, well, okay, we take Dune out for whatever reason because they hate Hans Zimmer. I don't know, but
No,
we have Challengers. We have Nosferatu has pretty good score. Baby Girl.
Yeah.
Give me Baby Girl actually. So yeah, I hope Brutalist wins this one, because at least you can remember that score.
Yeah, legit, if I play anything, if I play all of these for you guys, you're gonna be like, okay, which one is which? What is happening? Because all of them are so generic. Besides The Brutalist, yeah. But moving on to Best Makeup and Hairstyling.
I think this is very easy. That's the Substance Award to win.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you have El Monstruo. At the end, there's like, it's so impressive, and they love the movie. If they're gonna snub Demi, or like they're gonna snub it somewhere else, or not gonna give it like screenplay or director, this is the only one that has 100% in its pocket.
Yeah, like my pick is The Substance as well. I have a second choice. So my pick and prediction, The Substance, clearly, because they do so much with Demi aging her and all that. Oh my god, the transformation and the last blob thing. And I don't even.
Also, all the transformations before that. Like,
I don't want to think about it because it's grossing me out, and that is the point. Thank you, The Substance. But there is some credit to be given to Nosferatu. Like what they did with Count Orlok,
and there's some nice
and the facial hair, because it's hairstyling too, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Lee Rose Depp has gorgeous hair and hairstyles throughout the movie.
Exactly, and then they styled all the men's like mustaches and beards and all that, you know. So I feel like there is just like a little shout out. It's very well crafted on that department, as well
Yeah.
as
Any other year, but no, this one's just Substance. It's like the maximalism.
yeah. If Substance doesn't take it, I will be very surprised. Of course, people like to talk about Emilia freaking Perez.
No, this is like unnecessary nomination.
No, they don't do anything besides the little bit of makeup for like less than a quarter of the movie with Carla Sofia Gascon for the amount of screen time when she's a man.
Just give it to any horror movie. Give it to Dune instead. Yeah. Not even like.
Wicked. I don't think there's a case to be made for Wicked
I
necessarily.
mean, cute hairstyles, but then usually don't go just for the hairstyles and the green skin. I'm sorry, we've seen it in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So it's not groundbreaking anyway. And they just like when it's
Would
like
it be
more.
wigs and hairstyling? Yes. But once again, the Substance is doing much more.
And also last year it was the Poor Things, and it's mostly for Willem Dafoe's face. So they like prosthetics over the hairstyles and
The
just
year
painted
before
skin.
that, The Whale, right? Yeah. Well, Best International Feature. What is the? I can't speak. It's because of all the Emilia Perez we've been talking about. Best International Feature.
I mean, 2 weeks ago you would ask me and I would have like tears in my eyes and say, this is Emilia Perez. But I pray that like all the tweets and news article about how people actually have like they can vote for Emilia Perez right now. I hope that's also including the international feature, because I would love to see I'm Still Here, that's kind of has like huge campaign right now because of all the Brazilian fans, and the movie actually being good and impactful. And I think like people just want to vote for like movie that's also based on the real events.
I'm like, is this a good time, just like last year, when we feel like we've reached a point where we need to discuss one of the Best Picture nominees, then we can discuss it at large. And I'm thinking maybe this is the time to discuss I'm Still Here.
And we should. I
Because-
mean, surprise Best Picture nominee. Nobody was expecting that. That's like the biggest surprise of the nomination day morning.
Yeah. Of course, it's nominated for international. That's the category we're in. And there is also Fernanda Torres nominated for Best Actress. Now, as Petra said, it's a real life story of this lady whose husband disappeared because of like government issues, like the political environment.
Sheds light on the dictatorship in Brazil, and I think it's doing amazing things for like Brazil as society, because it's something they don't discuss.
It's an adaptation after the book written by Marcelo Rubens Paiva, I think is how you pronounce their family name. It took 7 years to make, but there are other movies that took 7 years to make on this list. And if you ask Robert Eggers, it took him his whole life to make Nosferatu. This movie made some history already, and it's making some history with the nominations it has gained at the Oscars. So first, it's the first Brazilian actress, Fernanda Torres, to win a Golden Globe. And it's the second ever to be nominated for an Oscar.
After her mother.
Yeah, which I think is really fun.
Yeah, Fernanda Montenegro, which is also in the movie at the end.
And it's the first Best Picture nomination for a Brazilian film. It's a tragic story, a tragic family story. We were also discussing how we maybe don't have the clear cut out nominations like every year. Like, where is our mandatory war movie? It's kind of but it's post-war, The Brutalist.
Yeah.
But I'm Still Here, and The Real Pain might be the family drama, the mandatory family drama nomination. And of
people
course
will resonate with it, because also the performance is amazing by Fernanda Torres. It's like,
yeah, there's
makes
this
you
ice cream shop scene everyone keeps on talking about, where like she takes the kids to this ice cream shop where they used to go as a family, like when her husband was there as well, and the kids are like doing their own kid stuff, like playing, eating the ice cream, whatever, and she's just in pain. And you can see it on her face. It's probably processing like the grief of her husband not being there, her family not being the same, because how can you be the same when tragedy hits you. And it's also, the movie is such an in-depth exploration of how politics affect your day-to-day life.
And also, like, you would rather vote for that than a movie that, like, is about Mexico, is hated by the whole country of Mexico. Like, how can you vote for that?
Yeah, because
how does it justify it in your brain that you vote for something so shallow?
In a way, you can make the same case for Emilia Perez. Of course, that explores the trauma that people have around civilians going missing because of cartel violence in Mexico, right?
But it's actually not that, because it's so shallow and it's just used there for aesthetics, because it's made by French director who doesn't really care about the country of Mexico and then just uses for aesthetics, and one he kind of knows from like probably the movies he's seen when he was a child at best.
Meanwhile, this movie is actually telling a story like respectfully as well, and exploring all this trauma that I'm sure many people have in Brazil. And also the use of home footage is also really important in this movie, because as we've been saying, it's like
it's gonna tug at your heartstrings. So I think that's like, if people, because people are watching it, if it got into the best picture, people are watching it, especially because of that prolonged period of voting in January. I think enough people watched it and it made impact, so I think they're just gonna vote for it in the best international.
And once again, it's a dark political drama, but like it has so many layers to it.
It's also personal, because it's like you can think about your own family and how it would affect you.
And the montage at the end, there's like actual pictures of this family, of the lady Eunice. A very impressive movie. I'm glad it's nominated for Best International, and I hope it wins. And I'm glad it's nominated for Best Picture.
Now I'm checking what we are gonna talk about next. If it's gonna include Emilia Perez or no again. Yeah, we have Best Documentary, and good thing it's not nominated there. But I mean, this must go to No Other Land. If it doesn't go there, I'm gonna think of Academy in certain ways, and it's gonna show their very clear political preference.
Yeah, No Other Land is a Palestinian movie. It's about day to day in the
occupied territories.
Yeah.
I was kind of not sure if it would get in, just because of the whole last year and zone of interest speech and how they reacted to it. I was like, okay, we know where you stand, so maybe you might not nominate this movie, because they also had issues of nominating movies submitted by Palestine before for the like Best International. So I was just like, oh, they're just who they are. So I'm very happy to see it.
That's why I'm like, I don't know how many people will vote for this. I also have it as my pick,
and it's winning.
My prediction.
It's winning anywhere else, but I'm like, this is like Hollywood. This is like all of them just there. So I'm like, maybe they're gonna vote for something else, but I really hope not. There's no clear number 2, maybe Porcelain War, because they're more open-minded about war in Ukraine, I guess, and they awarded 30 Days in Mariupol last year.
But will they give that more attention than No Other Land? Probably not.
I mean, also Sugarcane. You have like a lot of documentaries with very heavy topic. I mean, if I would be honest, if there would be one documentary about climate change or something, that would definitely win Post-Fires, because I think that's where they are in their mindset. If we would have Don't Look Up this year, that would definitely win Best Picture, you just know that. So, I mean, No Other Land, and we'll see.
Moving on. Let's go to costume design.
Oh, yeah.
Finally! Like, we're in some exciting categories.
I mean,
moving forward,
I have really Nosferatu as something I want to win. I like all the pretty gowns and costumes for Wicked, but I'm more like, I love my historical dramas. I love when the costumes are very accurate, even if they're not 100%. I love the effort and just how good it actually looks, like Lily Rose Depp and I don't know the name of a friend in the movie. It's very impressive. Also, all men look good and sharp. I just appreciate all the attention to details, all the hats they're wearing, all the Nosferatu, Count Orlok himself having like very impressive costume as well. I love the historical background and all that.
Exactly. Like my heart says Nosferatu as well, just because of the effort, the sheer effort, and historical documentation, like, of course, at the end of the day, there must be some inaccuracy because you can't recreate everything. You must make some stylistic choices again. But
so it looks good to the 21st century audience.
Exactly. I've listened to this podcast with the costume designer, and she was talking about how once they've decided that it takes place in Transylvania, in Hunedoara, then like she actually went and looked at archives of historical dress back then, and she looked at all the noblemen and how they should be dressing, and then they made very informed choices on materials as well. And what is costume design? Beyond the historical accuracy, what is costume design? It's also a way of characterizing these characters. So she was talking about how they chose cheaper materials for Nicholas Holt's character.
Oh yeah, because
of his social status, and how Aaron Taylor Johnson in his costumes
are more elaborate,
yes. And his wife in the movie as well.
Yeah.
They have more elaborate costumes because they're rich. They have more status, a different class, if you may. And I love all this attention to detail. And everyone seems to have been, clocking in, putting their effort in and out every single day on this set, and I love it. I mean,
it's Robert Eggers. If you watch like his past movies, he very much respects historical accuracy. When you look at The Witch, when you look at The Northman, when you look at the Lighthouse, it's very historically accurate when it comes to the costumes, language, everything. So I really appreciate him for that. But the thing with the costumes this year, they're gonna look at something that has more costumes, because Nosferatu has like cast of like 10 people. When you have Wicked, it has all the pinks and blacks and greens and the huge cast that needed to be like dressed, and like the big Ariana Grande pink dress and crown.
And here we are at our actual prediction.
Yeah,
probably Wicked. Realistically,
it's bigger.
Wicked will
it's
take it.
Bigger. They love the movie. I don't think that would be very surprising if it goes to Nosferatu.
The race is between those two. Gladiator, yes, you can.
Only nomination for the movie, it's that.
All the other nominations make sense as well, because if you go like Petra mentioned, volume, it's just the case of Elvis. Think about Elvis. Besides, like Austin Butler and his costumes, right?
Yeah.
You had to dress all the extras. A significant effort. But did they deserve to win? Not really. Nomination for effort, for the sheer volume of costumes, sure. That's the case for A Complete Unknown this year.
Would I prefer, let's say, Dune over Complete Unknown? I think so, even though
Dune, they had to dress a lot of extras too, but at the end of the day, when you look in the crowds, like...
First movie, it deserved the award.
Yeah.
A nomination a bit more than this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still more impressive for me than Complete Unknown, because it's very more like casual 60s outfits they have there.
As we've said, the nominations make sense for what the year was in cinema last year, and it's between Nosferatu and Wicked. Next up, we have cinematography.
Oh god.
Another like exciting category.
I mean, you should have more excited. I'm just like...
But like clear snub. I'm gonna mention it now because when else will I be able to mention it? Conclave.
You have Conclave, I have Nickel Boys, which is actually groundbreaking. Like last year we had Oppenheimer, right? And everybody was talking like how Nolan always invents something for his movies and how he's like pushing the boundaries. That's Nickel Boys this year.
Is this where we talk about Nickel Boys?
We should talk about Nickel Boys, even though it's like almost flat line and people are wondering if it would even get into the best picture, because I was like, it deserves the best cinematography, it deserves best director, kind of best supporting actress if we were being too optimistic. But if we have like very safe choices in a way, I don't get why Emilia Perez is there to begin with. It wasn't nominated at the
cinematography.
Guild.
Like, are we serious?
This is the case of it overperforming, and I would actually put Nickel Boys there because I love Conclave, but it's like kind of standard, and I would like something that's like doing something for the arts, like pushing it. When you talk about Nickel Boys, it's
Nickel
the
Boys
camera work.
It's a very experimental movie. It's nominated in adapted screenplay, so we're gonna end Best Picture, which very, very surprising. If we're talking about I'm Still Here being the surprise nominee, that it's not. It's Nickel Boys. The fact that it made it into Best Picture is insane.
I mean, it's not a surprise because we were. I mean, I was predicting it. I was just worried it won't make it, and that like
we're gonna
Sing Sing would make
talk about it in adapted screenplay.
Sure, yeah.
But just an important mention why Petra is so on the case about it being snubbed. It's a very experimental movie where the main characters, you have 2 point of views and it's first person POV, like in video games, people. I've never seen anything like this.
Certainly takes
film.
you some time to get used to it because you've never seen anything like that before, I think.
Like I said, it's very video gamey for me. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I don't think there's any other movie.
For me, if the movie gets
like
into the Best Picture, I'm just like, how do you snub it in here? Because that's kind of like what's the driving force behind it. That's like why the movie is so unique, and you just snub it in here over Emilia Perez.
And it is, of course, they should have been nominated in cinematography because what is experimental about this is cinematography. So it's just really, really strange that it's not nominated.
I mean, I would have Nickel Boys, I would have Conclave there, I would have Queer there as well because that was very impressive.
Oh yes, Luca. Oh.
And I would
but that's just a Luca movie. They always look so nice.
I like
it's pretty.
It's very pretty. That's Maria as well, just pretty. I mean, I'm happy to see it there because you always have that one underdog that only gets like one nomination. Oh, I would. We were talking about costumes, just shout out to Maria because also like if you want to have like more like 20th century costumes, Maria was right there instead of a complete unknown. Just saying, they did way more and more impressive work on Angelina Jolie especially.
Yeah, but we were talking cinematography.
Yeah,
now personal pick
Nosferatu
and prediction.
Oh, for you.
For me, it's prediction as well. Like I'm really ballsy with my belief in this. Nosferatu. Like the cinematography, my man. Like as much as I love Dune, and it's so impressive. Greg Fraser, my love.
I mean, maybe Dune is gonna win because they have that black and white sequence, and we know how much they love black and white.
I have no words, but Nosferatu, oh my goodness, babes. I know we like to talk about, just for reference, go watch. If you want to hear our case for Dune for Best Picture and for cinematography and every other category ever, go watch our Dune Part 2 video that we uploaded like a year ago. Because I can't just have all the talking points, just like rehash them. But in terms of cinematography, I'm making a much more passionate case for Nosferatu right now, because yeah, we like to talk about the infrared camera use in Dune Part 2 and all that. People, the effort they put into Nosferatu, and they created a freaking filter that would only it wouldn't let red and yellow wavelengths, colors, through, so they would have this like blue color palette. There's like what it.
And back to our spectral sensitivity curves, we actually find 3 curves, one for each of the separate emulsions, which happens to emulate, though not perfectly, the way our eyes perceive color. However, a distinct shift in our visual acuity occurs in levels of low luminance like night. Our photopic cone-mediated vision switches over to scotopic rod-mediated vision. Essentially, our sensitivity narrows to an almost monochromatic range of mostly blue light, and we become insensitive to longer wavelengths like red. On Nosferatu, moonlight is back in a big way, but ever the stickler for authenticity, Blaschke can't help but point out when the illusion doesn't quite meet his standards.
I mean, if you look at the moon, the shadows don't make sense. Obviously, the moon's in the shot, which doesn't make sense for these. If you go back a bit, yeah, like this shadow is bullshit, but the lamp was there, you know, but the thing is that the lamp is much closer than the moon, which is essentially at infinity, which would throw a shadow way back here. But the lamp's there at, 200 yards or whatever, so at that, when it's that close, all the shadows go sideways.
If it looks good, the audience will forgive you.
Yeah, I think it looks all right.
All right is an understatement. I think these are some of Blaschke's most evocative night exteriors yet. And in the crossroads scene, you can see just how far he's pushing this technique. It marks a return of the scotopic filter with a bit more blue added in the grade. And we
But obviously, it's a simulation of moonlight, because obviously moonlight is too dark to shoot in. So Robert Eggers and the director of photography, they were talking about this extensively, about how to get the right look for these scenes.
I mean, to be fair, Nosferatu is the most approachable movie. Same with Poor Things for Yorgos Lanthimos last year. And I think they're they're gonna be scared of it's a horror movie, so they might go for Brutalist. That's my prediction. Because you have these iconic images, especially when he goes to New York, the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, they also shot on VistaVision.
And the small budget, and
with a very limited budget, and there is a case to be made for the Brutalist as well.
And it's this epic, and you have iconic images of that movie, and I think they are gonna be impressed by that. But there's also a chance that the movie is just gonna also die before we get to the finish line. I think they're getting tired of it. AI controversy didn't help.
And we were talking about this being the power of the dog of this year.
Or Killers of the Flower Moon from the last year. It's not Oppenheimer. I don't think it has there was something unique about the Oppenheimer, the editing. And it was so sharp in a way. This one, it's impressive. I think the 10 million budget helps the story, might carry it to the Best Director award. I kind of see it for the cinematography as well. Would love to see Nosferatu, I just don't trust them to overcome the bias.
I believe in Nosferatu and the power of 5,000 rats. I don't know what to tell you.
I guess it should have been a production design then, no?
Honestly, maybe. No, actors.
Oh,
supporting actors.
I mean, shame they don't have the whole best casting awarded Oscars.
Remember
not yet actually.
We were talking about what categories should be included for the future. I'm gonna make a case for best animal, best pet,
best
trained non-person actor.
I mean, we had Messi last year for Anatomy of the Fall. Then I think we had a couple of animals over the last few years who were stealing the show.
Yeah, they should at least get. Okay, maybe you don't have nominations for a full category each year, but you should at least give them at the Governors Awards, right? They should at least they should give my 5,000 rats an award. Thank you. Beautiful. Let's talk film editing.
That's such a flop category this year.
Since we were talking about it so much.
My pick in my heart is not even there, and it's Challengers. That movie is the best edited movie of the last year. Number 2 is The Substance. It's not there either, and my number 3 is Dune, and it's also not there. My number 4 is Conclave, which I that's my pick. And also my prediction to win, I really hope it's just masterwork of editing, when you have a thriller about just old men discussing religion and
you
scheming.
need a certain rhythm, you need a certain cadence.
And it's so entertaining. And also a movie needs to be well edited so people on the internet can go crazy and make bad edits to it. There needs to be something about it, and it's just showcase of great editing. And it's not over the top it's with Emilia fucking Perez. That's if that one wins, it's on the same level as Bohemian Rhapsody winning for the best editing. Shitty edited movie, just so much that people think it's good, which I think a lot of people do still. And surprise winner, Emilia Perez.
My pick is Conclave. Going with my heart here. Conclave, baby. Let's go.
I mean, it's kind of hard to predict this one because editing, in a critics we're picking challengers. Critics' Choice picked challengers, so we kind of need to wait for BAFTA.
Yeah.
And BAFTA might pick Brutalist, but I don't feel like Brutalist is gonna take it at the Oscars to begin with.
Brutalist is my prediction.
I don't think so, girl.
But-
I'm gonna pick Nora just because of as my second option. I have Conclave number 1. My second option is Nora because it's done by Sean Baker, and just because of the recent DGA and PGA wins. I'm worried. I mean, I'm not worried, but like, I don't think Nora necessarily deserves the best editing, but he might be like the second choice.
Brutalist was also edited by, God, what's his name? Brady Corbett, right? Brady Corbett has been saying like, he had to watch this so many times, he was sick of it already. By the time when he had to campaign for it, he was like, I'm so done. I don't want to see this movie anymore.
I mean, we always have like long movies that need to have like a lot of work done to them, like Brutalist and like all the Scorsese movies. And Oppenheimer last year, it's just, and Power of the Dog, they're long movies and a lot of work to do.
And
but I'm
Brutalist has an intermission.
I know, that's why it's in the back of my mind. I don't see it.
So, and they had the balls to do an intermission. And in interviews, Brady has been saying that criticizing a movie for being too long is like complaining about a book for having too many pages. And I'm like, I see it. Some movies, we were talking about it last year when it was, the movies nominated had the longest runtime in history.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with movies becoming longer. I know our attention spans are in the trash can with the way social media functions nowadays, but like, come on. I don't know.
If people are able to binge watch shitty Netflix shows, you can watch one movie.
Yeah, just sit down. And I'm glad it has an intermission worked in it, because then you don't feel the whole length. Plus, I've heard cinemas in the Netherlands. I think it is Dutch cinemas. They have like, after some time, after like an hour and a half, they have an intermission. Not even like they just do it to any movie.
I also, it's very smart because I think like when you go and watch the movie in cinema, it's good like marketing strategy because people go out and buy more snacks or go for small, and like cinemas just gain from it.
Exactly. And it's also a lot of pressure. Sometimes you gotta pee.
Oh yeah.
Someone think of our bladders, please.
No, me during the Killers of the Flower Moon, I love that movie, but like I was like, I'm gonna die of thirst because I'm not gonna drink because I don't want to go and pee.
Do filmmakers know how bladders work and how we drink 1 liter of soda?
Yeah, there have choices. You either like wait until it's like on streaming or you go and watch it in cinema, but you have choices to make.
Moving on.
Yeah. Oh, the big categories.
Oh no, we still have.
I mean,
let's calm down. We still have
animated
to talk about, and then we're gonna go to the stressful categories.
I completely forgot about the best animated. I mean, I'm choosing Flow. In my heart, I would love to see international animated movie win again.
Yeah, I want Flow as well. I didn't even mention it in international because it is nominated. It's from Latvia.
Show of strength for that movie, and very cute, unique animation. And I'm just not that passionate about Wild Robot. It's just a very cute DreamWorks movie that like we might forget about in a year or two. It's sweet, but not that like, it's not gonna stand out in a couple of years if it wins. I would like prefer something that has like unique animation, unique like storytelling. Just bring something else to the field, and that's not like gonna be Inside Out or The Wild Robot and Wallace and Gromit, what the previous movie won. So I think it's happy to be there. And I don't think the memory of the snail has like enough passion behind it.
I'm not that passionate. Just flow for me. And if it doesn't win, I'm just gonna be so sad. It's probably The Wild Robot because it's a favorite
I'm predicting The Wild Robot. I don't care for it. I have Flow as my pick and like number 2. We'll see if the international voters can like make it happen, but yeah.
Now, how do you want to handle the more serious categories?
Oh, the screenplays?
So, do we start with screenplay?
Let's go with the screenplays.
Let's go screenplay.
I would say adapted one is way easier.
Okay, let's start with adapted screenplay.
Because it's Conclave is my pick and it's gonna win in one of the Golden Globes when it's like only screenplay. It's more writing than directing achievement. That's why I think it was also snubbed in the not snubbed, it was snubbed in the director category, but it's just so smart and it's just so tight. You need to, like, when you have a movie, when people just talk, it needs to be perfect.
I am surprised that I'm Still Here is not nominated for adapted screenplay because it could have easily replaced Emilia Perez.
Or Complete Unknown. I think Complete Unknown is
Unknown.
another movie that got over-nominated. This shouldn't have been an adapted script at all.
That being said, Nickel Boys is my pick. And why? Because not only because I said I was gonna take the time to talk about this movie because I freaking love it. It's so weird, but I love it so much. So not only is there the experimental part of it, like POV, camera work and all that, but it's an adaptation, people. So the director, and I think he's the
Rommel Ross?
Yeah, I think he wrote the screenplay as well. We gotta fact check that. But put it on screen, Theo, when you edit this. Here, I've let you all know if it was true or not. But they put so much effort into adapting this because he started... This is gonna ring a bell, Petra. He started with images. He started from like photographs he had in his mind, and then started developing...
Very Denis Villeneuve and Dune.
Well, yes, but also very Mad Max.
Oh, true.
I watched this whole interview with him talking about how they needed to develop the story from like these photographs he had in his mind, then the camera movements, exactly what they wanted to tell with the camera movements. And because it's two POVs, one of them, you also need to adapt the characters. And because of the unique way this movie is filmed in, the camera work also delivers their characterization in a way. And the director was talking about how you can display certain like personality traits through camera work visually. One of the boys, one of the main characters, is more skeptical, more cynical in his worldview, more analytical, and the other one is more romantic, hopeful. And you can see the difference. Of course, at some point it blends because that's the point of the story as well. If you don't know, the story is also, the subject is quite interesting as well. It's about these two boys that end up in a, what is it called, reform school?
A reform, yeah.
Yeah, and one of them ends up in there like by accident. He's in a car. They are both African American boys, and one of them ends up in there by accident because he's like driving in a car with a colleague from school or something, and the car turns out to be stolen, and that's how he ends up in one of these schools. I'm not gonna spoil the plot towards the end, but it's a tragic story. Of course, these places were places of where a lot of abuse was happening, emotional, physical. There were unmarked graves, undocumented deaths. You can imagine. So the movie is quite heavy, and it ends up showing it has some very powerful imagery.
Just the whole production of the movie, we need to celebrate it more. And I'm like thinking about how it was like snubbed more and more in a lot of categories. When you think about how they actually had to achieve the look, and plan everything to the details.
Exactly. This is why I'm like, why we're talking about it in cinematography as well. You need to deliver so much when your actors, when you don't film your actors, you put a body cam on them, like you strap it on, and then you have to plan movements and coordinate with the other actors as well. He said one of the actors, I can't remember who, but he's playing like a teacher, and he was saying like at some point he didn't know where the camera was, but it was kind of liberating in a way, but also very confusing and very untraditional on a movie set when you don't have like marks to hit as an actor. It's just the movement is more organic and
I mean, I would love. I mean, now when you're talking about it, I mean, I can kind of see it maybe like making its way into like winning the screenplay and then maybe winning the picture. It would be very spotlight.
It would be like. So I'm gonna make, when we get to Best Picture, I'm gonna make a case for the underdogs this year, because there are some. I'm Still Here and Nickel Boys are such strong contenders. If the Academy doesn't fucking vote for Emilia Perez, again, I feel like Ramel Ross should have been nominated for directing, because he didn't just have to direct like camera work. He was directing both the actors and the camera movement, because it was on actors, those cameras.
No, I think they're probably regretting the decision not to nominate him now, not voting for him.
Yeah, he also touched upon like this very interesting point of how black stories have been told. You're gonna love this because
is he like putting shade on Green Book? He should
probably. He was talking about how black stories have been told from non-black directors' point of views, and he was saying how much does that impact visual storytelling, because if you're not black, then how authentic is your worldview? That's also why he made the movie in such an interesting way with the first person POV.
I still think like majority of the voters are white.
Yeah.
And it was like, I would say, too black for them. They would prefer like the movies like The Help or The Green Book, which is like touching these subjects, but it's like from the white perspective.
Yeah.
It's why I have like Emilia Perez, which is like about Mexico and like cartels and all of their and trans experience, not made by any of these groups, but it's like so superficial that it's like just right up their alley, unfortunately, and that's why it was overperforming.
Yeah, here is where I rest my case about Nickel Boys and why it's my choice for adapted screenplay. Based on what I've said, and I'm kind of convincing Petra. I made a strong case for Best Picture. It would be insane
if it's winning the Best Picture. It's gonna take the script, but I still think it's gonna be Conclave in Best Adapted, and then we'll see what's gonna win the Best Picture, in my opinion.
Let's go to original screenplay.
Oh yeah, a couple of there are so many snubs. There were like more original. Like movies with like the original script. Doesn't mean the original, but yeah, it just wasn't space, I suppose. I like Challengers should have been there. I saw TV Glow, that was like very underrated. Hard Truths and so on. All we imagine is light as well. I mean, after the critics' choice, I'm kind of toying with the substance, maybe taking it, even though I wouldn't say it's very. The idea is interesting. I don't know if they are gonna award it just for that, because then you have Honora, and I think they wanna reward Sean Baker, as everybody has been saying for the last year. This is like his award to win. I don't think it's gonna go to September 5 or the Brutalis. It's just like mandatory Brutalis nomination. Real Pain is just like
I have an interesting take. So.
I don't think so. It didn't make it to the Best Picture. I think they enjoyed the movie. They enjoyed the performance a lot. I don't think they're gonna give it the best original screenplay.
So ballsy. I think A Real Pain is.
I love your delusion. I mean, if you would say substance, I would be like, sure, why not?
No, my personal pick. If I pick with my heart, it's the substance. I think A Real Pain, just because it's the family drama movie alongside I'm Still Here, but I'm Still Here is an adaptation. Just because it's the family drama, I feel like it has a real chance to win.
And there's like the case about Jesse Eisenberg being the writer and everything. I'm picking Honora. I'm not very passionate about any of those, even though I like the movies. I think Honora is gonna win.
And I like what they've done with the substance, but I've let my brain wander for like 3.5 seconds just now, and I don't think I mentioned the substance in production design, but I think that deserved a little shout out in that category. I don't know if it's a clear snub, but I liked.
I mean,
it's referential in a way to other iconic
it's ultra modern production, and it's impressive, but it's once again like something to nominate somewhere else to like give it a little shout out, but it's not something I would necessarily miss in the
I liked it. I was just
production.
thinking about what the what is the movie saying? What's the messaging? What like why is it nominated in screenplay, you know? And I feel like it has done its job. Was it, we were talking about this pre-recording, how it could have been better, how people like to like criticize it because it could have gone stronger with the messaging around like
just
plastic surgery and how shallow Hollywood is and blah blah. I'm like, yeah,
like preaching, but I think we have the American Fiction last year, and I'm like, it just, that for me it doesn't sit right with me. If you are actually like, trying to preach, if you actually show it to me and not tell, I prefer that if you trust me to be intelligent enough to get it from your movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sad I didn't make the case for production design because I feel like it achieves the messaging through production design, through like Elizabeth Sparkle's environment and stuff. It is a, like, the production design is also it displays her emotional state as well in this like claustrophobic, artificially sanitized environment around her. It feels very fake, just like the industry is, right?
It kind of reminds me of when Everything Everywhere got nominated for the costumes, because it was like showing who the characters are and all of that, but I'm just like, it's just not a strong contender.
I feel like it delivers the message. I like the screenplay.
It just, I think
if I pick with my heart once again, the substance.
I just think that it's like they would prefer something worthy, just when you have just writing achievement. So I think there's gonna be Anora.
Is this where we talk about Anora in the story?
No, I would save it for the... I mean, we can, why not?
Fuck it, let's talk about Anora. Because we just covered the substance a little bit, so...
And it's competing, the actresses are competing against each other, so... And we're gonna go to the actress category soon anyway, so we can just unpack it now.
Exactly, so... a very Sean Baker film. It's another Sean Baker film where the subject matter is a sex worker. Just like with his other movies, correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, most of them,
he deals with the subject with from a very compassionate, empathetic lens.
Yeah, more like the underdogs. Yes, like the low class, struggling individuals.
And these people are human. And I think Broe Deschanel has this video, her review of Anora, and she ends up talking about Sean Baker's films as well. I think she calls Anora like the modern day Disney princess.
Oh yes, that was the title of the video as well, right?
She lets herself dream, and of course you can always be like, oh my god, she's so stupid because she lets her guard down with this Vanya guy, and she crosses all her boundaries and stuff. But like,
how many girlies are gonna feel attacked by that? Because we do it.
Yeah, for all the fucking assholes, we like to dream, and it's okay to let yourself dream, and it's okay for her to live in her fantasy for like a quarter of the movie. It's fine. Yeah, and I like the lightheartedness that Sean
whimsy.
Baker. Yeah. Like would you say this movie is a dark comedy?
Yeah, it is.
In a way, I think it is.
I mean, it's definitely, it has both comedic and more like drama-oriented scenes, especially towards the end. But it's like kind of not like feel good, but it's very whimsical for the most part, and you're just swept by everything like Anora is as well. And
of course
get to the,
it's also important to mention that the point and criticism people have of Sean Baker's films is that he makes trauma porn, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, and I can also see how some people, some valid criticism about the movie is how he kind of misses the point with Anora. Like, she's not in focus enough. At some point with the Vanya chase,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, basically midpoint and towards the end, we kind of just lose the plot with Anora. She's not so much like,
She's not the main character.
yeah. There could have been a much more in-depth character exploration, and we kind of lose focus. And people just wish that there was more.
So it's like kind of like picking it apart too much.
If we want to pick these movies apart, oh my god, but
Yeah,
the
but
bar
very
is on the
easy.
floor. The bar is in hell. The bar this year is Emilia Perez, and all of these movies, masterpiece. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk supporting.
Actor or actress? Start with the ladies.
Let's start with the ladies.
Because honestly, I mean, let's give it to Ariana Grande. I really don't care about the rest of the nominees.
Oh, Petra doesn't care. Spoiler? Not spoilers. What? Petra,
Yeah.
just quick disclosure. Petra doesn't care about any of the supporting categories, actor or actress. It's just like, let's just get it over with.
Isabella Rossellini, I'm just maybe petty because people are hating on her because she's bringing up her mom, and I'm like, why are you so spiteful?
Surprising to me. To me personally, I just let myself color in, with my highlighter, my color coding and everything. I just let it flow out of me, and I found myself coloring in Ariana Grande's name.
What do you say that your eyes see Ariana Grande, yeah?
Yeah. Like, but that's it. I just feel like it.
Is it gonna piss off Selena Gomez fans? Yeah, maybe I'm just also like highlighting it because of that. I don't care for the Wicked movie. I think she's very adorable.
Me neither. I think she's really. The thing is, I think she's really good. Like her Galinda.
Glinda?
Yes, I love fucking up her name actually. Yes, you can see how big of a Wicked fan I am. Messing up supporting role.
You mean like
Are they
co-lead?
co-leads?
I don't want to open that,
Pandora's box.
Yeah, of the like how many supporting nominations should have been in the lead actor, but
No, but
anyway.
I think she's doing genuinely a really good job in this movie. Yeah, and of course there is the case to make for Zoe Saldana.
And
who
I'm
I don't
just-
want to be literally. I think she is she Puerto Rican, Colombian. I don't know, but and I don't want to be ignorant, and I will come off as ignorant. But since when is she Zoe Saldana? People are gonna come for me and be like, she's always been Zoe Saldana.
I'm sorry,
But
they're
also
doing
when-
such a marketing to get that movie.
I know
under
we
our
are all
noses.
collectively we are all ignorant for calling her Zoe Saldana for the better part of her career.
Her father
But
is Dominican and her mother is from Puerto Rico.
Okay. Well, I see why she's Saldana now. But tell me, can we just hold
A year
her-
ago, like we were, either everybody was mispronouncing her name, and she was okay with it. 'cause I don't-
forever? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and it's okay if she didn't want to correct anyone, because I understand. Why is it her responsibility as an immigrant to correct anyone about her name? And it's also right societal pressure. Of course, you would whiteify your name. What would you call it?
I'm just like, if
I'm
she's
sure
gonna
these
change
things
a
have
year
names.
from now to Zoe Saldana again, I'm not gonna be surprised because it's not just Fernanda Torres.
I'm
Not
just like-
oh my god, not Fernanda Torres. I'm so sorry. Fernanda Torres, poor lady, has been part of this like smear campaign they tried to do. What's the person we shall not name?
Carla Sofia Gascon.
I totally deleted the name from my memory. Yes, her and the director just being disrespectful, racist, and just terrible human beings, and like Zoe Saldana just backing up the director even now and saying kind of like controversial things herself. I'm just
like,
like,
I didn't even clock in when we opened the Emilia Perez can of worms, but it's open now.
it's open now, and
It's
I'm
open
just
now.
like, if she
you've
just
been-
wants to win award and she just playing the game, and I'm like, she didn't like make a clear statement that she properly disagrees with anything, and also you're supporting a movie that's like, you should be ashamed of making in a way.
If you've been living under a rock, Emilia Perez is the story of a Mexican drug dealer, cartel leader,
Yeah.
question mark, who hires this lawyer, Zoe Saldana's character, to help him transition, to help her transition. I still want to be respectful with pronouns, even though I don't like this movie. Then the plot escalates into drug dealer fakes his own death. Drug dealer fakes her own death.
Yeah.
Transitions. She now hides this from her
Wife
family.
and kids, yeah.
Selena Gomez is
The wife.
her wife, by the way. Then she resurfaces after having transitioned, yeah, as like a distant aunt or cousin or something. And then she starts a non-profit organization, like a charity or something, to help the victims of like cartel violence, like people going missing. This is what people in Mexico have been saying. This is the trauma porn we should be talking about. Because this movie is not approached with any dignity, any empathy for these people.
Very disrespectful and,
And I'm
tone
like,
deaf, and I'm like, it shouldn't be just the lead actress being punished by just like the whole cast. I'm like, how can you read something like that and just like not be embarrassed?
It's performative, that's what it is, this voting and making this movie be nominated for anything. Because, yeah, would it be fine if there was accurate representation of transitioning, an accurate representation of Mexico, an empathetic story about the victims, like all of these families that have people that go missing because of cartel violence? Yes, it would be all fine. However, here come the problems. There is not one Mexican person working on this movie. The script, the Spanish, sometimes it's so wonky and weird. It's like Spanish people truly believe this movie has been written with like Google Translate.
I mean, the director himself.
The director is French, my dudes.
I mean, what did he say about Spanish language? That is the language of poor people, basically.
That
He's
also.
just disrespectful prick. That's all I'm gonna say. And that to see him nominated instead of Ramal Rose.
None of the movie is filmed in Mexico. What other problems? Carla Sofia Gascon is the most hateful person we have. Not the most. She can't be the most.
But she's up there in the recent years.
But like the tweets she has been tweeting and have resurfaced. Oh my god. Yeah, this is just a little bit of the controversy. There is more. And
honestly, this movie should have been nominated for Aziz. I don't get like how is it getting such a critical acclaim, and also like Zoe Saldana performance. Like people are saying, yeah, it's the best part of the movie, but it's still not good. I just seen the clips because I refuse to watch the whole movie. It's just like I'm sorry, I'm like it's so bad as well. Like Joker 2 level for me of like being bad musical.
Know who has what sort of blackmail against who, because we are talking about Ezra Miller and how he is still getting jobs in Hollywood. How? Yuck! Exclamation point. Not the animated short. A visceral reaction to Emilia Perez.
Yeah, I still think it's gonna win Best Supporting Actress, unless Ariana Grande please pick up the steam and start winning.
Yeah, so all of that out of the way, Zoe Saldana actually gives a she gives a good performance.
No, I
With
wouldn't
what
say.
she's given, and now that we've calmed down, and we can ignore. So I'm just gonna disclosure, because we've talked enough about Emilia Perez. There are also nominations for Emilia Perez in Best Actress and
It
Best
doesn't matter.
Director and Best Picture. We will ignore it moving forward because my spirit is tired.
It's such a bad movie, I don't want to talk about it no more.
Moving on.
Supporting actor.
Supporting actor. I mean, this is so clear to me.
I mean, everybody knows it's the real pain. I have it as I don't have it as pick, because I just still think about he should have been in Best Actor category, so that's kind of stopping me from like choosing it as my pick. So I'm like going with the actual like supporting performance, and it's Guy Pearce in The Brutalist. And I think like he deserves his flowers after like so many years, and he did so well. And it's like, I would argue, way better performance than Adrian Brody in the movie.
Oh, yeah, but in the category he's in, I think Kieran Culkin. I know your beef with.
I mean,
co-leads,
I'm just like
I know,
my
but I feel
pick.
like
I'm not predicting him. I don't think he has a chance.
Okay.
Just with my heart, it's a Guy Pearce in Brutalist.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Or Jeremy Strong as Apprentice. That's a.
That's just because you want to see Kendall Roy win.
Yeah, I mean,
where does the line? It's such a blurry line between Jeremy Strong. Where does Kendall Roy begin and where does Jeremy Strong end?
Method acting. What can I say? But yeah, Kieran Culkin. That's very easy. Like this is like 100%. You can put your prediction in. No surprises.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised to be surprised.
That's both my pick and my prediction. I think Kieran Culkin is taking it.
Case closed.
Beautiful. Best Actress.
God, I mean, this is very much The Substance and I'm Still Here.
Fernanda Torres, yes.
And Demi Moore, both Golden Globe winners. I would choose personally Fernanda Torres.
Yeah.
Because I love Substance. I just had such a good time in cinema. It was a great performance, but it doesn't feel like a winning performance for me. I know she's gonna win. Very strong narrative is like very much about her as well. Just for me personally, it doesn't like speak to me that much.
Personal pick, Fernanda Torres. I would love if she wins. That being said, my prediction is Demi Moore.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing so well, and it's like, give her the flowers. And she's very charming, and like she came back after years of silence with a movie that's kind of about her. It's giving me Michael Keaton in a Birdman, but he lost. But like I feel like Demi's on better track right now. I mean, we can see her performance through the makeup, so that's another like great job by the makeup department. And I would love to see like her performance win. Of course, there's much to think about, like, because we have like so many actors winning with shit ton of makeup on their faces, and like how much is the performance, how much is the makeup in a lot of them. And this
yeah, here is where me and Petra off the record. Yes, not on air. Pre-recording, we were talking about Bill Skarsgård and if he should have been nominated. Speaking of performances through makeup,
yeah,
his transformation is noteworthy.
Yeah,
that is it.
Yeah, I was impressed because I usually have him in my head as Pennywise, and I think he improved as an actor a lot. Like he did like amazing like voice work and everything. I appreciate it, but I'm not award worthy.
Is this a gateway
to
best actor?
Yeah. Oh god, that's
It is a difficult category because you know what? Let's start easy. Sebastian Stan being nominated, very fun.
I'm happy because like there was the whole thing about like people not wanting to do an interview with him like post election, and I was like, oh, he's not gonna get nominated. Then I was like, oh, he's gonna get nominated for Different Man, but he made it as Apprentice. So very strong movie with the international community. Like it was doing well in Europe and outside of US, so he has support over there. I love to see him. He's an amazing actor and he's doing so well outside of Marvel movies, so I'm very proud of him. I'm very happy to see him, but yeah, not winning.
Let's get the
Conclave.
Yeah, so do I begin? Yeah, my pick is Rafe Fiennes, I have learned that his name is pronounced. Look at the way this man's name is spelled and tell me you don't want to call him Ralph.
He's more artistic. He's very British. I don't know what to say.
Like Rafe. I'm sorry, Rafe. Rafe Fiennes.
I mean, he could have my narrative. I don't think he has been nominated since Schindler's List.
You know the debate about oh God, why is she slipping my mind now? Killers of the Flower Moon.
Lily Gladstone and Emma Stone last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like you could make the same case this year for Best Actor because his performance is very
contained.
Yeah.
I think they always go for more flashy, unless you have like Lily Gladstone that's like in a conversation.
Yeah. There is also the case to be made about Timothée Chalamet. He's not my pick, but
I have him as second place as a surprise winner if people are just tired of Brutalist. I would say he might go in there because he's like old enough to actually get his flowers. They moved on from him being too young in the Call Me By Your Name. He has Dune behind him as well. He's doing so well. He's promoting. He's very charming, and I think he
put in the work. Like in
they love biopics.
Interview with Kendrick Lamar, he was talking about how he really put in the effort and the time to like learn how to sing, play the guitar, look into Bob Dylan's life, and he had to do so much research because apparently Bob Dylan is not a person people know a lot about.
I mean, you know all the songs, or either they're by Dylan or covered by different artists.
You can't go on like Wikipedia to learn about this man apparently. So he had to do a lot of research. There's footage of him like trying to like exercising his singing while in Dune costumes, like on the Dune set. So he's really put in the work.
And they love biopics, and Brutalist is fake biopic. It's not based on the real person, so maybe that's why some people might vote for Bob Dylan biopic instead. I have him as number 2. I still have Adrien Brody as number 1. It just reminds me of his performance in The Pianist.
Yeah, I said this like 2 weeks ago, and Petra was immediately like, yeah, I see it. I don't see... Yeah, I just see Adrien Brody playing another traumatized man. Not that he peaked at The Pianist, but I don't see a difference necessarily.
Yeah, I mean...
They are different characters, yes, but the way this man... I don't know. To me, it's the same performance. It can be controversial. Controversial, maybe. It's just my personal
If we are saying
opinion.
that
I'm not
DiCaprio is always doing the same performance, we can say it about Adrien Brody. I feel like
he's a very good actor. Do I want to say he's one? No, that would be too
No,
harsh.
he like when you compare him in like Wes Anderson movies and then like The Pianist or this one, you can see the difference.
Yeah, I don't want to say he doesn't have range, but like it's the same type of role for me. So it's hard to argue, and he won for Pianist, right?
Yeah, I just feel like because it might be like 20 or 21 years between the awards, so I bet they would feel very good about him recreating the acceptance speech when like, because he kissed Halle Berry without her consent during the previous awards. So I think they might try to like redeem him if he wins. So I that would be so cringe for me. But I feel like they might be into that because that's how they are. I have him as number 1. My pick is Colman Domingo for Sing Sing, just because I'm just so sad to see that movie is like not in a conversation at all.
Do you want to hear pure delusion? Colman Domingo is my prediction.
Girl, like if like people are just battling out over Chalamet and Brody, they might go for Domingo as their, like let's give it to this guy. He was nominated a year or so ago. I think it's last year, I don't remember. So he's known to them. They're aware of who he is. He's not a newcomer, and it's like very strong.
Of who he is.
Like compared to Mikey Madison, she just came in and they're like, oh, that's cute, we nominated her, but like I think she has a lot work to do before we give her like this big award. So he's amazing in that movie. I feel like he used to be like number one, and then he kind of went down because all the other movies came out. But it's just so emotional and so raw. Like I think he would be like nice package with Fernanda Torres winning in the Best Actress.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to feed my delusion. And I think I fed it enough that I wasn't so delusional in other categories, I feel like. So I am allowed my delusional pick.
But let's go to the director. And we can talk slightly about the Brutalist.
There is a case to be made for Brutalist having that Best Picture nomination. It's well deserved in my opinion after doing some research, because of course when it came out at festivals and everyone was like, oh my god, it's winning everything, it's so good, blah blah.
But it's like, I'm like, people at the festivals and nobody else seen it, so it's kind of a bit annoying. Then it came out and people had like more controversial opinions.
We saw it's Adrian Brody. We kind of understood it's like a post-war immigrant story. We're like, okay.
It took me some time to realize it's not based on a real person, actually.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, oh, how are they gonna feel about it? It's very Lydia Tarr in a way.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna
That's
be
also
like,
kind
oh,
of,
okay.
to its credit, they made us believe that this Laszlo man is real, and it's also quite surprising for Brady Corbett to want to make this movie at all, because he's expressed his distaste for biopics and how it limits you as a director so
he made
much.
Fake biopic.
So he made a fake biopic where the focus, as he puts it, is like on the history and the immigrant experience.
I mean, to
more
be
than who this guy is.
Fair. What I enjoy about certain movies this year, like slightly with Anora as well, is like criticism of capitalism and consumerism in a way, and like especially with the Brutal is like the complete dissolution of American dream.
Yeah.
This is what like this movie is about, and
Yeah, and Brady is making a case for like not only like basically just like completely dismantling the American dream, but he's also, because this movie, well, look at the freaking title, it's called The Brutalist. He has expressed a very interesting opinion in the past, like prior to making the movie, about Trump and his make federal buildings great again.
Oh yeah,
like executive order or something. I think that's what it's called. Where he wanted like federal buildings to be like refurbished and look like Republican Rome or Democratic Athens. Who else wanted this? Like, does it ring a bell, people, about history at all? Because yeah, if you think Trump is falling right into neo-fascist ideology with this, you would be right, you would be correct. And although I don't like brutalist architecture myself, I have learned to appreciate it through this movie, because it's about something completely new, or this philosophy in architecture, what is it called? Not trend. God, words are not coming to me anymore.
Architecture, what, like style?
Style, thank you, style. Trend. Yes, girly.
Oh my god, no.
Style. What it's all about is like creating something completely new, looking forward into the future, something that hasn't been done before, made before, that doesn't look like anything familiar. And for a immigrant who has just escaped Nazi Germany, of course, it's an inspiring story, and I've learned to appreciate brutalist architecture from this standpoint. I would also like to make a case that Eastern European brutalist architecture is not the same as Western.
Oh yeah, it's very like Soviet era code is like completely different.
Yeah, like I have my own generational trauma and reasoning why I didn't like brutalist architecture.
Oh, when you see it everywhere, yeah.
There is something to appreciate about it. Of course. So, and of course, Trump has moved back into this direction. Like the moment he got appointed, like he said, yeah, we need to go back to this, these designs, of course. And it's also interesting because there's this document from the 1960s in America where this architect working with JFK, with the administration, was saying there's a guide for federal buildings architecture, and the architect said like design must flow from the architectural profession to the government, not vice versa. And well, clearly
Why do I feel like you're making case for Brutalis doing the production design?
no, because I'm still not there, but I do think from a technical point of view, it's a highly technical movie. There are things I thought this was gonna be. I thought The Brutalist, beside, if we completely ignore Emilia Perez, I thought The Brutalist was my villain. I thought I was gonna like not like this movie in theory, and then I changed my opinion. The use of the VistaVision camera as well, and Brady Corbett himself, with the budget they have, it's actually insane how much they've achieved.
No, I really need to see how his schedule and how he had everything planned, because it's like so little to give him.
He was talking about how they wanted to use this type of camera because one, it was used in that era of cinema, so not only is it authentic in that from that point of view, but also
that's why my prediction for cinematography for Brutalis is looking so good right now.
The wide field, what depth field is it called? Watch my brain not working, like it's melting. We've been recording for 2 hours and a half. I'm barely holding on. But because of the wide shots, wide
range,
wide range. Someone more technical in studying cinema and studying film can correct me. That's why they chose it. And he wanted to capture, the point is to capture all this impressive architecture, right? But the thing is, there are not so many of these. It's kind of like IMAX cameras. And also the know-how. That's why they filmed in Europe. It was also a very smart decision financially, because it is cheaper to film movies in Europe. But they also had the know-how, because I think they worked with Hungarian filmmakers.
Yeah, I mean, it was in...
And they still use these. So they still use like old school cameras and stuff. So they had to do that. They had to be very inventive again. You know how Nolan was inventing like ways basically to film close-ups with IMAX cameras because they're so big and heavy. That's kind of what they did with the VistaVision cameras as well on this movie.
We'll see how they're gonna respond to that. I mean, I don't think it has chance in Best Picture at this point, but like the director carried to the finish line. It's very impressive work, and I think he's still gonna win despite Sean Baker winning recently. I think that was a big surprise, but I don't think it's gonna be repeated at the Oscar ceremony. Brutalis and Substance are on different level compared to the rest of them, because it's like a vision Fershah had for the movie. It just seeps through you, like the whole idea about the Substance and how she like chose them in more, and like how she achieved everything. It's also a very gross movie, like she had to, you know, overcome the whole horror genre bias. And I would love to see Woman win, but it's like my wishful dream to see her win.
Like, same. She is my pick as well, but my prediction is
Corbett.
Brady Corbett, yeah.
I
don't think we've talked about The Complete Unknown.
I don't think there's much to say. It's a very okay biopic. I don't think we need to discuss it. Personally, I would keep the sound and Timothée Chalamet nomination.
Yeah, it's just a run-of-the-mile biopic. Not that impressive. And,
at least they are not doing his whole life, so I'm happy. It's not like the typical let's start from when he was famous until he dies. I mean, he's not dead until like the recent years. It just like focuses on one event basically, so it was like very self-contained in a way.
Oh yes, so I'm Not There. That's what the other biopic is called.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a biography as collage basically. It's that movie where Cate Blanchett plays Bob Dylan.
How can we beat that? You know, she was so good.
I'm like, it's impressive, but it isn't. Better Man is the better biopic of this year. What can I say?
If you want to nominate something.
Or The Apprentice, you know.
Apprentice, yeah. Or let's ignore biopics for a while now, you know.
Brilliant.
Oh no, Best Picture, and I'm still not sure about anything.
Okay, finally, let's talk about what we think will win Best Picture.
I think it's Nora. Some people are still doubting that it's gonna win. I just don't see any strong second option right now. We had Emilia Perez, and I think we should be like all grateful that it won't happen. Personally, I think just the movie of the year is Dune Part 2, but like they obviously don't care. It's like my pick with the Conclave, because the Conclave is for me a part of the Conclave hype. I mean, if it wins that editing award, I might be considering it, even though you have the case for the underdog.
So, here is where I go kind of off the rails with...
Oh my god, we're putting tinfoil head on.
Yes. Are we ready? Guys, get them ready, put them on, because I'm gonna try to argue that I'm Still Here has a chance to win Best Picture, okay?
I mean, I see that.
Okay, because what is the only other nomination? No, well, 2, right?
Yeah, 2.
Actress and
International.
What other movies won Best Picture with like not so many nominations and not so many wins?
I mean, you have
in their
Spotlight,
categories?
You have Coda.
We have Coda. In 2021, most recently, it had 3 nominations. It won all three.
Yeah.
It was Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Supporting Actor. And then, somehow, it won Best Picture.
Yeah, but there wasn't like any strong contender that year.
Which is, we've looked at that year. And it's the year we were talking about. It's the lamest year, the worst year so far.
The only movie that makes them feel good when they watch it. Obviously, they were gonna vote for that.
Previous to that, Green Book, 5 nominations, 3 wins. It won Original Screenplay, Supporting Actor, and Best Picture. That's the 3rd win.
Yeah, they really loved it.
And
It has great audience scores, and like people loved it no matter how controversial the win is right now.
You also need to believe in the power of Brazil.
Oh, I'm seeing the I'm Still Here potentially winning, but we'll see. We still have like 3 weeks.
Then the rest of the cases for the underdog winning Best Picture with like very little nominations are from like the 1930s and 1920s.
I mean, people
are
are
very far, but it has been done before. At first, this was my delusion. I let myself be delusional about Dune Part 2 winning.
No, they just don't care about it.
I think at this point there is no interest there, but Nickel Boys, I'm Still Here.
I mean,
maybe Conclave. I still don't have a clear winner. I'm Still Here is my prediction because I am delusional. If I have to pick any other movies from the other ones, I do not have a clear favorite. Emilia Perez could have been replaced by Nosferatu in a heartbeat for me. A very low energy end, but I'm staring at this list. I don't want to pick. I want to mention this Kalshi Odds. The website is called, I saw someone mention it in this Oscar race. What the website is like a regulated exchange and prediction market where you can trade on the outcome of real life events.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the Oscar for Best Picture and what people are betting on. Oh my god, and as we speak it changed.
Yeah.
Because it was at 2 hours ago, Anora was at 60%. Anora right now is at 58%. The Brutalist is at 28. Conclave is at 6.
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
It is. Clearly Anora is a favorite. Would I be okay? Once again, I don't care that much about this year. I do not. It's the Coda and Licorice Pizza year all over again. As long as Emilia Perez doesn't win,
we are good.
I am good.
Yeah.
I will be fine. If Emilia Perez takes home any award, what the fuck?
I mean, there's the best song category.
Oh yeah. Okay, besides
Diane Warren,
best song,
Diane Warren,
besides,
please sweep this year.
I know we were bitching about her and her nominations, but give this woman the Oscar, please. Because what's the point if not?
No.
Well, that has been
I just
our predictions, our very low
I'm not very
energy.
happy with the best picture predictions. I'm just like so.
I mean, we weren't happy with the nominations to begin with.
I mean,
I feel like
yeah.
we've had interesting talks about some of these movies, and clearly I was more passionate about some than others.
I think I was
Will that
surprised
amount
that
to
you
anything?
came around on The Brutalist, to be honest.
I was surprised too.
Yeah,
know
like
what
3
my
weeks
notes
ago
say?
you were like,
At
meh.
the top of my notes, before any research, before anything, I said I have no love for this movie. This is my Oscar bait this year. Outside of Emilia Perez, this is my villain. I wrote that sentence. I changed my mind. I take all of it back. I don't think it is clearly Oscar baity, but not more than any other movie on this list.
Yeah.
And not more than Emilia Perez.
Let's
This
not even
movie.
discuss that.
I'm sorry, I thought no movie ever could change my opinion about Babylon. Babylon is a great movie, people. This is what we're gonna end on. How great Babylon is, Petra. Cinematography in Babylon.
I mean,
Margot Robbie's performance in Babylon.
I mean, yeah, but let's remember that disgusting red dress that I will forever have in the back of my mind.
Oh, but that's costume, that's
I never
fine.
nominated.
That's
It's
fine. Costume design in Babylon. Girl! Come on, I will argue for that too.
No, that was tragic. I'm happy
The
it
bar
didn't
is
win.
below the floor right now.
At least the
in
performance
cinema.
is very good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like, honestly, craftsmanship in the
and
movie.
it's
Directing
Damien
was good too.
Chazelle knows how to direct the movie. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's close with that before I have to make apology to the man himself. No. Yeah. The bar is low. The bar is hell.
That is, the bar is hell. Can it be below?
Wait until the next year.
What is beyond hell?
Wait until we find out.
Oh my god.
Trust the year
We
Dune
were
Messiah is
spoiled.
gonna come out. Is gonna
We
be
were
another
just
bad
spoiled.
year.
These last, like, 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
We were just very spoiled. We had good cinema.
You were very ungrateful last year because you were like, the movies are so good. I kind of don't feel that strong about it, and I had a feeling you are gonna jinx our luck with that.
Yeah, we have such a bad year in cinema because I personally jinxed it, complaining about too many good movies that I had to pick from. Poor me. And
Yeah.
this year, they are all bad and I don't want to pick. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.
Do you think Emilia Perez is gonna win anything?
If that answer is yes, I want you to pause the video. You know, click off. Close the tab. Go outside. Touch grass.
Or the snow, or
Think
whatever.
about your choices and your opinions. Watch better movies. Watch Babylon.
Are you
Watch
talking?
Don't Look Up.
Are you talking to the Oscar voters right now, or just the regular people? 'Cause
No,
I
the
think they-
people. Maybe this made it to Emilia Perez fans. Do you exist? Tell me why you like this movie.
Because Selena Gomez. That's it.
We need to stop this
Yeah, just
recording
stop
because
recording before we get